Alright, what is up, YouTube? Thank you for tuning in to the Goblin Frequency. I hope you're all having a very, very good day. I was literally scrolling through on my computer, and I remembered something. I was like, I have a GOG account. So I installed my GOG, like the GOG Galaxy app, and I was like, I forgot I owned most of these games. And most of these will actually run on my potato of a computer, so. And a lot of these are bangers. I have Blood Omen 2 and Defiance and Soul Reaver 2. I guess I'll have to emulate on PlayStation 1, or on a DuckStation, the PS1 versions of a lot of these, but yeah, if you see any of these that look like you'd like to see a Let's Play of, let me know. I totally forgot I had this. Okay. See how this runs. So, it took me a while, and I'm sure I'm going to edit the majority of it out. It took me a lot of fiddling and messing around to actually get this to run decently. But this is the most beautiful so far I've actually ever seen this game run. It is 2 times the resolution, and it is running, I think, at 60 frames per second on my end. I don't know how it's going to run for you guys, because I am recording this. I can already see a little bit of stutter here and there, but that's just the technical limitations of what I've got, but it's not too terribly bad. I know I'm recording this in 30 frames per second, so you won't be seeing it as smoothly as I am. But this is nice. This reminds me of the decompilation they made of Mario 64, which I will probably play through. They also did one of Ocarina of Time. They're just taking all of these classics from our childhood and making them so much prettier and so much better. It's in widescreen. It's kind of like the Xbox 360 port if they had actually done everything that they should have done. This is really neat, and I'm really enjoying this. Yes, you're right. I'm rather proud. My looks stand me out from the crowd. Just talks like a 50s gangster. But there is this one girl. Who's the bitch? Who are you texting? Dude, I was talking to one of my coworkers, okay? One of my coworkers, he was new and I was training him on the job. He was coming from a different state. I'm not going to tell too much of his actual super personal information. But he had this huge scar on his arm, and I went, hey, what happened there, man? And he goes, oh yeah, my ex tried to stab me to death. And I was like, what? So he was talking to the mother of his child about something to do with their daughter. His girlfriend at the time came home and just heard him on the phone, took a knife, and stabbed him in the arm, sliced him in the kind of rib area, he showed me that scar, then stabbed him in the neck. Be careful who you pick as your significant other, people. I've got a very lovely, kind wife, but I lucked out. People are crazy. This is how I sleep on my days off. Today is my day off from work, and I've slept so much. Like, oh my gosh, it's been a lovely day for me. Oh, and they recompiled Star Fox 64 as well. And since I played Nova Storm, I've been in the mood for a lot of these kinds of spaceship shooting games. So I may play through that. That's a really easy game to beat. It's like, what is it, like an hour, 30 minutes, something like that. Like, as a kid, I had a lot of trouble with that game, but now it is super easy, so. Let me go, you naughty old bitch. I've always loved, I saw a meme online, it shows Chris Farley in bed, and it said, like, me if I was in the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, and it's him going, "Leave me alone and let me sleep for the love of God!" Leave me alone, you old bitch. And I've always thought it's funny the way that Freddy Krueger in that series says the word bitch. Oh, this feels nice. This is smooth, man. So, oh, I can't do the jump yet. Oh, yeah, I can't do any of this yet. So, I'm kind of a weird purist with N64 stuff. I like the vibe of very old 3D games. I like 2D as well, but there's just something about this kind of stuff that I enjoy. And most of the time, I don't like the HD remakes or remasters of these games because they don't give that same kind of tickle of nostalgia, that little dopamine hit that your brain craves. And one thing I have noticed since they've been doing these recompilations of these games where it's like higher resolution and better graphics and, well, not really better graphics, it's the same graphics but they're sharper. This has actually felt better to me than the old way, well, than emulation, like the old way of playing these on a PC. Like, this is how you modernize these things. There we go. And yeah. Checking the button mapping here. This game right here, there we go, that's what I'm looking for. This is by far my favorite video game ever made. If they recompile Banjo-Tooie, you guys may watch me play through that game for the first time. Same with DK64, I've never beaten either of those games. Oh my gosh! The camera, yay! Oh, this is like one of the biggest annoying things when you play this on the 64, is you hit the C button and the camera goes, like it just locks in. This is nice, I like this. Like, this is how you port a game and make it feel good. Gonna get all the honeycombs in this area. And always pay attention to Bottles' little spiel at the intro to this game, because he gives you the opportunity to skip the tutorial crap. And if you're like me and you've played this game since you were 6 years old, you don't need the tutorial. Even if I'm playing this on a generic controller that I bought at Game Exchange for PC, like, I intuitively know how to control this. One of these has a honeycomb. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, this brings me joy. Like, it's so happy, and it's got, at a lot of points in the writing, this very kind of dry, snarky British humor, and as an American that grew up watching a lot of, Monty Python and enjoying Top Gear and things like that, it's such a beautiful, beautiful experience. Like, thank you to the team who created this game, or the person. I need to research this more. I think this might have been a one-man thing. I will tag their YouTube, because I do have the trailer favorited on my channel in my favorites playlist. And I do keep my favorites public, because I like the vibe that old YouTube used to have, where rather than like, today I'm gonna eat 600 sausage rolls and see if I die, I've got this doctor. On retainer to resuscitate me. Watch this, guys. It's really cool. Like, rather than just being a bunch of, like, clickbait gobbledygook, it felt like there was a real community there. Let's see. Okay. Okay, yeah, I think... Do I get the... Oh, wow, yeah. I'm forgetting that there's analog camera and it's so good. But yeah, I can't do the Talon Trot yet, it doesn't seem. Oh, and then if you hit... Okay, so you can do the old camera style. This is even smoother than what it used to be. Used to, you'd hit the buttons and go, and it would be a lot more jerky, but due to this nice, smooth 60 frames per second that I'm playing this in, it's way better. But I think you learn the Talon Trot in Mumbo's Mountain. What is that? Let's see. Does my shadow, like... Yeah, my shadow is seemingly on a different layer than the bridge or something? That's not really a huge diss at all. That was probably like that in the original game. Sure, show us the way. Cross the bridge, enter Grunty's lair, look out for me inside. You realize how difficult Bottle's life must be? So... Bottles has all these tunnels and everything, right? And when you think about it, we've got this entire mountain here. Bottles, to get into parts of this mountain, had to start at this ground level and then tunnel his whole way up through the mountain into here. Her just being too large for the machine. This fine contraption, so I'm told, will make me young, make Tootie old. Let me go, you fat whore. Rescue you, he will not dare. There's many dangers in my lair. Hurry, Cullen, go push the switch. I'm tired of being an ugly bitch. Yeah, I feel like Klungo smokes a lot of weeds. He takes a lot of the weed pills. I made that joke in my Nova Storm Let's Play video, and I am certain there's someone who watched it that was like, "This man's an idiot! He doesn't even know how drugs work." And for the record, no, I don't smoke weed, but also it's a joke. Like, I know that, like, I guess technically there is a version of weed they give to hospital patients. Like, my former youth pastor at my old church when I was a kid actually told me a story. He had, what was the cancer? He had T-cell lymphoma. And he was so stressed out and so tired and miserable that his doctor prescribed him a pill called Marinol, which is just marijuana in pill form, to help him relax. He told me he hallucinated on it, but I don't know. Like, marijuana isn't really a hallucinogenic drug. So I'm not really sure if that was just the stress of his chemotherapy or what that would have been, but regardless, it's a funny, well, I shouldn't say that. It's not a funny story, but it's an interesting fact that they do technically make marijuana in pill form to help treat stressed out sick people. I'm a note, one of 100 on each world. Collect us to open the note doors. Imagine if every single item in the game just had their own really long, annoying spiel that they had to go through. And so you just had to sit there and listen to them non-stop. Just say gobbledygook. Oh, goodness. By the way, this game, this recompilation does allow mods. So in the future, I will be playing some mods of this game too. I remember, so I talked about this in my the Underdog Begins, or the Underdog Story Begins video that was just going over my current situation in terms of game collecting and life. And I remember, oh yeah, I have to bring Chimpy an orange. But I remember I was talking about how I had to sell pretty much all the video games that I own physically. And that's just an aside, but the last time I owned this particular game, I bought it at a huge flea market, and I can't remember the name of it. It's in North Texas though, like maybe like Arlington or something. But I bought this this game, Banjo-Kazooie. And when I go to a flea market, so this huge flea market really feels like just a bunch of small, like, proper shops that just happen to be in a flea market. But I remember I went to this game store. They had a lot of cool things. But the guy who owned it was an older Indian man. And he just seemed to really, really hate it when you try to haggle with him. Like, I went up to him and I was like, this game was $40, and I'm like, would you take 25? And he looked like he wanted to take out a gun and shoot me in the face. Like, this motherfucker wants me to haggle with him. I always thought it looks like Klungo is wearing, or what's his name? It's Klungo, right? I always thought it looks like he's wearing like a sports bra or something. But the owner of the store was so mad at me. And if I'm at a thrift store, I'm going to haggle. I'm sorry. Or flea market rather, I'm going to haggle. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. Like, if you want me to not haggle with you, don't have a store in a flea market. That's just the nature of the beast. Don't get pissed off if you own a store at a flea market and people come there wanting to negotiate. You need to build that into your pricing scheme, having a little bit of wiggle room. I have the same thing happen a lot when I go to pawn shops. I have people be like, when I try to haggle with them. I think part of it is that younger people don't do that anymore. Like, I'm not an old person, I'm 30. So, like, I'm not young, but I'm not really old, if you know what I mean. At least in my opinion. And it seems like that's just a lost art. And when you go into places and you ask them, like, so what's your bottom dollar on this? The people who work there get so, like, what? Like, what are you talking about, man? I have no wiggle room on this. It's so funny to me. Like, everyone in the modern day complains about, oh, the economy's hard. And then they're also paying sticker price for everything. It's like, what? It is hard, but it's a lot harder when you don't actually try and protect yourself and negotiate. Not that I'm perfect. I've been in bad situations many a times in life. That's why in that introductory video for the channel I actually talked about, like, I was truthful about my current life situation and how I want to be able to look back at the videos on this channel and reminisce about, I remember when I first started this channel, I was in this position, but now I'm here, you know? I remember I specifically said, I'm not asking for sympathy because I know it'll get better. I just want people to come along with me for the fun journey that it will be. And I know there's... Well, I guess I'm misremembering. I could have sworn there was something hidden behind there. It's probably in another stage. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Yeah, I know all the secrets in this game. I've 100%ed it before. Just make this whole channel into a Banjo-Kazooie streaming channel. Just play the same 3 games over and over again. Have 0 audience, everyone tunes out. I mean, I guess there are people who do that. Like, there was, back when I used to stream on my old Twitch channel, which, the reason why I don't have that channel anymore, and at some point I'll link to it, but I don't have that channel anymore because I lost my password. I didn't use it for like 2 years, and that thing was an old stream, an old channel. It goes back all the way to 2017, so I was really... Come on, you gonna keep lagging on me? There we go. Yeah, I feel like just crushing this and adding all these objects to the screen caused that. 'Cause yeah, the frame rate's starting to stabilize here. Oh, I wonder if I can crash the game real quick. Let's see. Let's just crush them all. I think the original N64 version of this game did that too. No, it's behaving now. I guess it was just either the encoder for the video or just a mishap there. Go. Yeah, this game is so iconic. So I owned an N64 as a 5-6-year-old, something like that. My uncle had a Nintendo 64, and my uncle always had the coolest video games because he worked a very stressful job, but he was, so he was divorced, and he lived with my great-grandparents, which were, this is my great-uncle I'm talking about, so my mother's uncle, I should say. So he worked a very well-paying job where he would go up on the Neiman Marcus building. I believe it's in Dallas. I've never been there. I may go there someday and just honor his memory. Just because he was one of my favorite people. He was kind of a fun but no-nonsense guy. He loved his family, but he kept to himself, which the older I get, the more and more and more I just have so much respect for people who do their job, go home. Let's see, oh yeah, I have the Mumbo tokens to do this. But he introduced me to a lot of these games, and I remember when I was a kid, my parents are both very hard workers, my dad especially. I remember I wanted a Nintendo 64 so bad, specifically because I had played it at my uncle's house, or technically at my great-grandparents' house in my uncle's bedroom, right? And I remember I kept asking, and my uncle just got a PlayStation 1. Oh, wow, I really don't have enough. I'm surprised, so... Oh, I know where the last one is. It's inside the termite mound over here. That's right. Taking my brain a little bit of time to remember. So here we go. No, I don't want. Boom. There we go. But I came home, I think from school one day, and there was an N64 in my bedroom. I had Shadows of the Empire, Mario 64. What other games? I had just a bunch of games all at once just given to me because my uncle got a PlayStation. And he's like, well, I don't need my N64 anymore. Because I think him being a grown man. So he was like, oh, Nintendo games are too kiddie for me. But I noticed he didn't own any, like, Resident Evil or, you know, Zelda or any games that I think he would probably be more into. But, you know, that's whatever. But he was always so cool to visit because he always had the newest, neatest things because he was divorced. And he lived with his parents who were both in their, like, 70s. Which you could be like, oh, he sounds like a loser. He helped them pay bills. He took care of them. He wasn't a freeloader by any means. But he had all this money that he made from his job and no responsibilities other than take care of family, go to work. So he would just come home from his job and play video games all day. There we go. So let's go back into the world here. Okay, so there's only the option to save and quit, which is no good. Yeah, oh wow, we completed this entire area in 12 minutes. Excellent. We've got everything, too. Yeah, I'm definitely making this a series. This is so nostalgic. So enjoyable for me. Please, guys, decompile. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I forgot one thing. That's right, that's right. Yeah, please, guys, decompile Banjo-Tooie. That is the only thing that's missing. Oh, and it resets your stuff you've collected. Or at least the Jinjos, so you can... I guess it gives you a life when you do that? I'm not sure. Yeah, it resets everything. So what I need to do is there's a button over there by the giant monkey boy thing in the sports bra. So I need to go and hit that switch, then turn back into the termite, and then go on top of the stage entrance outside, and it should give me a jiggy. So let's see. Try and do this as quick as I can. I've been watching some old school YouTube videos by a Let's Player I watched when I was a young kid. So the channel's name is 019. He still uploads, but now he does a lot of Twitch streaming, and he uploads his Twitch archives to his main YouTube channel. Are you gonna... Yeah, you're gonna make me do this again, aren't you? Okay. But I just went on a nostalgia trip and watched his DKC2 video, series. He was the first YouTuber I remember who was able to upload videos longer than like 10 minutes. And I remember I used to come home from school when I was in like 4th grade, 3rd grade, something like that. And I would sit down and I would watch his videos on my old, it was a blue, it was like 2 shades of blue. Oops. And it was a compact desktop computer. I had the matching keyboard and the matching CRT monitor. It was a fun time. I would get off of school. I'd sit down and I'd watch that classic game room. And I remember I watched the Irate Gamer before I knew what the Angry Video Game Nerd was. And for the record, I'm nostalgic for the Irate Gamer. I know people don't like him, and they have opinions on him, and I'm sure there's some kind of silly drama or whatever. I know he did a collab with James Rolfe as like a James Rolfe extending an olive branch to him at one point. But it was a different time in YouTube, and his content was honestly pretty entertaining for the time, and I still am nostalgic for it, so shout out to him. But I watched The Irate Gamer, I watched AVGN once I learned about it, essentially. Like, I just consumed a lot of content during the early days of YouTube. And one thing I miss about old school Let's Plays and old school videos online is that it was people that were actually just passionate about something, doing that thing, or talking about that thing, instead of like, oh, what will people respond to? I've got a big chart of data in front of me. How can I make people respond to this? It's like, just make things you want to make people. This is a note door, blah, 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 blah. Collect the musical notes. How many do we need? Number on the doors, the strength of the spell. We all know. Boom. And now he's gonna do a little dance. And at some point you can hit her eyes there. Then there should be a cauldron down here in which to activate. Yeah. So I remember as a kid I never knew about these cauldrons and I never used them. But when I replayed this about 2 or 3 years ago, I think is the last time I played this, I remember I had to take advantage of those a lot more, and it was a good time. It was much easier than just wandering aimlessly around this big open world. So I am going to open up this stage. I think it's Treasure Trove Cove is the name? Yeah, it's pretty low res, it's hard to read that. It's probably, yeah, there we go. It gets sharper when you zoom in. There we go. So I'm going to open this stage, and that will be what we play in the next exciting episode. If you liked what you saw, subscribe, hit the bell, leave us a little comment and a like. Let me know how I'm doing, everyone. We're trying to get this channel off of the ground. I'm not a numbers guy. I'm not just trying to like, oh, I just want a bunch of numbers on the screen. I want an honest-to-God community. So if you like what you see, join up, tune into the Goblin Frequency, and have a great day. God bless you.